G'day geeks, today we are talking about Colonel Custard from the 9 to 5 Warriors independent toy line, and we're talking about a classic toy line brought back and available at a very weird place, Madballs. So let's talk about Madballs and Colonel Custard. So what we have here are Madballs and Custard, which sounds like some kind of punk pop band or some weird dessert, but no, we have collection of 4 Madballs, which are foam balls, and we have Colonel Custard from the independent toy line 9 to 5 Warriors. So we're going to look at the Madballs first, and then we'll move on to Colonel himself. Madballs was a line of foam balls. They started in 1985. Freaky fun for everyone was the slogan, the tagline. Originally produced by American Greetings, and they've been produced by a few different companies over the years. So currently these are produced by Cloudco, so Cloudco must own the Madballs license. And they produced foam balls in the 80s. They produced action figures with head poppers where you push a button on their back and their heads would pop off. Those are very sought after by collectors. There was a couple of video games, an animated series, comics, that kind of thing. And people seem to be getting back into them, the modern collectors like myself, re-evaluating and finding their love for these Madballs again. They were pretty weird, so every character had kind of a grotesque kind of appearance. It was the 80s when there was, the Garbage Pail Kids and that kind of stuff. Gross out was big. So yes, very, very happy to see these on the shelf at Aldi, the shops. So I must give a shout out to fellow WA toy YouTuber and wonderful toy maker also, by the way, Cube Boy Collectibles, who put these on his Instagram story. He said Madballs are available at Aldi, and I'm like, what? So I raced down and I didn't race down, a couple of days later at my nearest Aldi I got these. So there's a set of 4. So there's the blue, green, orange and purple, and these were $8 each, I think. So they're actually pretty cool. They come in as like little potion kind of things, just cheap plastic, and the foam ball is actually inside. There's the Madballs logo, and you just kind of unscrew and you just rip off the little packaging, and the foam ball is inside. So let's have a look at these Madballs individually. Out of the blue potion bottle, first up is Slobulus. So none of these actually come with names on the tags. They don't say what their names are, but you can kind of tell if you know the 80s ones what these are trying to mimic. It's pretty squishy, but also pretty tough, pretty hard, the actual foam, and they are pretty bounceable, but I won't do it now because it's going to knock everything over. But this is probably, I would assume, Slobulus, because he's purple and green. He's got an eye kind of coming out of his socket. But you can see they're pretty kind of cheap, like, got the stitches and stuff, but they're pretty not as detailed as the original 80s ones are for sure. In fact, these would almost look like knockoffs from the 80s, but still not bad. You can kind of tell who the characters are. It does say Series 1. Hopefully they do a Series 2, but who knows. But for $8, not bad. You get like something little thing to display them in. You get a little foam ball of your Madballs, and you get a little hit of nostalgia. So pretty simple designs, but enough to know which each character is. So this is Slobulus. Next up we have the Horned Cyclops Hornhead. I mean, they've got pretty cool names, so you can kind of tell who these characters are. If you had the one from the 80s, so he's got the nose ring, the one eye, the horn, bit of slime kind of coming out because slime was so big in the 80s, the stitches, and just the kind of the gross lumps on the head and that kind of thing. But again, very simple designs, but they certainly harken back to the foam balls and the head popper action figures from the 80s. I did have Slobulus as a kid, the head popper version, and I think I had the wolf one, Wolf Brain I think it was called, but I didn't have Hornhead, so pretty happy to see these. And I'm pretty glad also that I've got all 4. I didn't see any others there at Aldi, so I'm assuming this is the complete set of Series 1. But yes, the little purple Cyclops monster there, Hornhead. Sticking with the clever wordplay, this is Oculus Orbis. So he's basically a big eyeball with a huge tongue, the familiar stitches and the slime. So yes, basically a big giant eyeball with a mouth. Pretty cool as well. The cartoon simplicity and the cartoon aesthetic is starting to grow on me actually the more I look at these. So yes, pretty cool, and they all stand out. You know, the colours are quite different from one another, and I like that the little potions are different colours. So yes, here we go. Oculus Orbis. Lastly, we have Screamin' Mimi, which is basically a screamin' baseball. This has a wonderful expression. I like how the teeth are kind of popping out and the tongue there. Has stitches, yes, and a bit of, is that supposed to be blood? I don't know, or kind of inside of the baseball popping out. You can tell that's kind of $8 because the printing on the foam ball there doesn't exactly line up. You can see the lines, but that's fine. $8, not bad. And this is something you can give for Halloween or whatever, or just the kids on Christmas. Some little balls with characters just to kind of play around with. And so this is the last of this series 1. I should say that there are action figures coming out. Well, they've been delayed for quite some time, but collectors such as myself have been looking forward to the new figures from Premium DNA. They've been meant to come out for years now, hopefully this year or at least early next year, and they are basically more highly articulated and with a lot more accessories of nods to the head poppers back in the 80s. So I've got a couple on pre-order from Pop Culture, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, not a bad little find from Aldi, the supermarket. $8 each, and you can kind of whack these on your shelf. These will probably go good in my kind of 80s cartoon shelf. They'll fit right in. But very happy to see these. And again, thanks to Cube Boy Collectibles. Follow him and subscribe to him on YouTube for giving me the heads up about these wonderful additions to my nostalgic toy room shelf. This is my first figure from the 95 Warriors line of action figures, a relatively new line from an independent toy manufacturer, which is pretty awesome to see. There's a pretty interesting interview with the creator behind this on Slimehouse TV's channel, wonderful toy YouTuber. And I've just backed their Kickstarter, which is for Series 2. But yeah, they're pretty creative. Basically, the whole premise of this line is stuff around the office has come to life, like erasers and tape dispensers and old cans, and this guy here who's like a custard donut. So I had my eye on some of them on Big Bad Toy Store, the American toy distributor, for a while, because I thought they're probably never going to come to Australia. And then Pop Culture, Australia's largest online toy distributor, snagged their first line. So I just received this a couple of days ago. So this is Colonel Custard from the 9 to 5 Warriors line, coffee lid shield, and basically a little donut pastry kind of thing come to life. Pretty awesome. The artwork is amazing, and just the world building of all these figures is pretty awesome and inspiring. So let's crack open Colonel Custard here and see what he's all about, eh? One of the common complaints about modern action figures is there just isn't the information and the bios and all the behind the scenes kind of background and character details on the packaging like there used to be in the 80s. You'd buy a figure that you knew nothing about, and then the packaging would tell you all about it. But these days, because there's so many languages and safety warnings, you don't really get all that information, which is a bit of a disappointment. But thankfully, 9 to 5 Warriors come jam-packed with info. So who are the good guys, who are the bad guys, their specialties, what they're good at, their origin stories. So I love all the bios and that kind of stuff. So the creator there, Brendan Braswell, has really done an awesome job kind of creating a whole mythos and story behind who these 9 to 5 warriors are. So you can see there's a bit of a story there involving a tired office worker and a imported energy drink, Gensai or Jinsai, depending how it's spelled there, and electricity and hijinks ensue, and then the stationery and office supplies kind of go to war with each other, which is pretty cool. So I like that you've got the two warring factions, the Break Room Bandits, which Colonel Custard is from, and the Water Cooler Commando. So how cool is that? Just filled with information, a little cartoon, you see all the little comic strip, you see all the individual characters and the names, you know who they are. I love that, and a bit of a bio about who Colonel Custard really is. So he's an evil mastermind, master of deception, weakness, hot coffee, and making fun of his sprinkles. I love that. So yeah, just the humour of it all. It's kind of got that Barnyard Commandos, kind of computer warriors, that kind of homage, I guess, going on, where just ordinary or outlandish figures are made. So yeah, I love it. I love it. But let's crack open Colonel Custard from the 9 to 5 Warriors.
Finally, a reason to go back to the office. Introducing 9 to 5 Warriors, an exciting new toy line created for the Toys R Us kid that never grew up. Offering 10 unique characters that are perfect for your cubicle or home office.
Here he is. He kind of fits in with the Madballs, doesn't he? So here is Colonel Custard. So if you grew up in the 80s on Mattel's Food Fighters, I guess he's kind of got a similar vibe, but I love the texture. I love the little chunk taken out of him, and his kind of insides custard, his gooey centre showing. But yeah, for a smallish figure, he's got remarkable detail, and I just love the personality and the hairy eyebrows. So yes, bit of texture going on there. The army boots, the legs move independently of each other, as do the arms. Obviously there's no other articulation, no waist swivel or anything like that. Yeah, I love that. That is so awesome. He comes with a cape as well, which just goes over his shoulders. That's going to fall down. That's okay. A lovely purple cape, very royal looking, and a coffee cup lid, which just goes in his hand. Again, very detailed. And I love that it's got kind of the writing on there as well, as coffee cup lids do come with. So yeah, I love the aesthetic of all these things that they just kind of cobble together stuff in an office to become their weapons. But let's have a bit of a play with Colonel Custard here. What do you say, Colonel? Colonel Custard fits in quite well with the Madballs that I picked up from Aldi, actually. He almost looks like their leader. It's almost the same size as well. But yes, very, very happy with this. I'm always happy to support independent toy manufacturers. I think it's just awesome what they do, and we are just blessed with choice. There's so many cool independent toy companies via Kickstarter or whoever making stuff today, which is such a good place to be if you're a toy collector. It's not just, you know, Mattel and Hasbro and stuff. There's a whole bunch of lines out there willing to take your money if you're willing to give them a chance. So very happy that I got 9 to 5 Warriors. I mean, all the characters look cool. It was actually quite hard to choose which one I wanted, but Colonel Custard is pretty much a very good one, and I may get more, who knows. But yes, there's a comic and there's a thermos and there's a behind the scenes kind of stuff that I got as part of the Kickstarter, so looking forward to reading that and just seeing the creative process. But yes, very creative, very imaginative. It's not too late to get Wave 1, Series 1 from Pop Culture or wherever, and you can certainly pre-order the second wave as well. So here we go, Colonel Custard. He looks angry, but he's made me happy. What a happy fellow this guy is. So there we have it. There's the Madballs from Aldi and Colonel Custard from the 9 to 5 Warriors line, which is available on their website or on Pop Culture or Big Bad Toy Store if you're in America. Very happy to have all of these. Pretty interesting and colourful characters. Catch you at the next one. Goodbye, geeks.